debate session in the agenda. And to moderate this debate, we have a Toastmaster. This Toastmaster loves talking about technology on his social media. He's the CTO of Arc Neo Finance and current technology chair of District 120. One of our very own most inspiring Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome today's debate moderator, Toastmaster Anirudh Sundaram.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Vijay, for that wonderful introduction. We'll get started with the debate. So I'll explain the rules of the debate. I'll reveal the topic a little while. We'll have two speakers from each team who will be speaking for 2 to 3 minutes each. It'll be up to you as the audience to vote for which team debated on the topic. My recommendation is to vote for the speakers and their content and not for the topic by itself. With that, we'll get started. The theme topic that we are choosing today for today's debate is what drives progress more? Is it rule following or rule bending? To invite the members of the team who are going to speak on that we need to follow rules, I invite our first speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Sundaraman, onto the stage. Can I also have this team member, Toastmaster Hemalata, as well? Let me also rules bending. So let me now also invite the next two speakers, Toastmaster Arvind Raja and Toastmaster Priya Damodaran, onto the stage. So rules following over here, rules bending. Please take your seats. So once again, I repeat the topic: what drives progress more? Rules following over here, the team on this side, or rules bending. Timer, please note, each speaker will speak for 2 to 3 minutes. We'll show green card, yellow card and red card appropriately. Let us now open the floor with distinguished Toastmaster Sundaram.
Just a few minutes back, we heard from Toastmaster Sander, and he was telling that how to counter the given topic, right? So the theme of today is dare to be different. But is it okay to be dare to be different in every occasion? There are, most of the time, we need to follow these rules. Only when we reach a level of maturity, then we can start thinking about bending the rules. For example, in this milestone meeting, so if we say that let the audience sit in first floor and the speakers in second floor, we'll live relay, let them be there, just to be different. So if we start doing, what will happen? So I think this is what we call it as, in organization, we call it as basic hygiene factor. So basic hygiene factors ensure that you have to follow rules. So if at all, if you may probably, there are some organizations where the time management is not taken very seriously. But at any time you can walk in and every time you can walk out. But the basic hygiene says that you have to be in the office for minimum 9 hours. Only either you can enter at 8 o'clock and then leave after 9 hours, or enter at 10 o'clock and leave after 9 hours. So we have to be very clear so what are the basic hygiene factors. So if these factors are taken care by following rules, definitely organization as well as individuals will make progress.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sundaraman. Excellent setting of context that rules are there for us to follow the hygiene. Let us now hear what the opposition has to say that they have to bend rules. Let us hear from Toastmaster Hemalata.
Thank you. So they say the rules are meant to be followed. Even we agree, the rules are meant to be followed. But the topic here is progress. What makes progress? I'm here to say all the greatest progress in the history are because of the rules bending slightly. So the rules are created based on the history. But what is progress? Progress is something which is unexplored, unimagined. And like we have to find out what the progress is. That can be done only when the rules are being bent. Every breakthrough begins only when you say no. So here, Galileo actually broke the rule or bent the rule when he said, when the church rule was saying that if Earth is flat, he said Earth moves around the sun. And Wright brothers broke the rule of gravity when they flew first. Toastmasters rule is to have the 3 sessions: prepared speaking, table topic, and evaluation session. But in Meraki, we broke the rule. We broke the rule by saying like, we'll be having management book review. We'll also be having master evaluation. Now the debate session. All these are like basically going towards the progress. And if only we had followed the rules, we are supposed to follow the rules, and we'll be still believing that Earth is still flat, and we'll be traveling only in bullock carts, and we'll be having the traditional method of Toastmasters, and we'll not be able to proceed further. So rules are to be followed, and if you want to go for progress, in that case, rules have to be bent and rules have to be broken. So I stand for rules broken only for the purpose of the progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hemalata. Some excellent examples on how progress has happened when rules are actually bent. Let us know here from the proposition team or from Toastmaster Priya what she has to say.
Rules are not there just for namesake. It really gives us some proper structure based on which we follow. Say for example, I come and say, if head comes, I will. And for you, if head comes, then also I will. If I am going to say that, will you be interested in coming and playing with me or playing in any game? So it does not create any ethics, and when you follow rules, it shows that you are very responsible. It gives you the respect. We can bend the rules. Okay, say for example, I wanted to bring an ice cream stick to show. There are situations where we can bend the rules, but after bending the rules, sometimes we break. It does not give you grace. I can show you many case studies and many such examples. Like following rules, it's like somewhere in Chennai traffic. If you are going to miss the rule, miss the traffic rule, what will happen? Sometimes it's okay, you can just go off, but you get into a gridlock, a deadlock. We can miss the rules. Sometimes bending rules, they say they give you progress, but does that progress stay for long? It might appear like a progress, but it is not progress and it is not the end. So following rules will give you, it is like a proper giving you a guidance, and they say fools only obey rules. But actually that's not the case. People who are wise, who are mature, they know they have to obey rules because they are a standing example, and following rules does not make you look like bending rules. They say, like, say for example, you go into a temple, and why do they say bending rules? Somewhere, you open that and then you go. After that, will people respect you, will look at you at the same way like how they looked at you? It's about the trust, it's about the camaraderie that is get built. If we follow rules, we get that respect, and progress, it comes. There is a quote by Vivekananda which says, even if the progress is slow, if you are in the right direction, then you will win. So eventually winning. So progress is like anywhere, you can have small wins, but that are not the ultimate ones. Anywhere there will be some disgrace or something. Say, for example, I can give you an example from Uber. They had an application called Grey thing. What they did is, they did not follow the compliance. They used some methodologies so that they were not getting tracked. And because of that reason, they might appear they had won. But later on, once when they get caught, that's not the same case always, right? So it's always safe and great to follow the rules, even though we may be slow and even though we may be getting there a little late. But we can always have our heads high and we will always win.
Thank you. Those are some excellent points Toastmaster Priya brought out. Two things that struck with me were, it's an excellent metaphor on how you want to progress. You want to go from A to B. One table topic speaker even told, right, that they want to travel. For us to progress, maybe we need to follow rules. If we break the rules, we can't reach our destination. The same example talking about a travel company itself, about how Uber had initial success but could not get far because they were bending the rules. Excellent speeches. Let us know here what Toastmaster Arvind has to say about bending rules.
Thank you, moderator. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. To bring the context back, again, we are reiterating about bending the rules, not breaking the rules. I am just trying to put the context right. So bending the rule is what we are arguing for, and this is where innovation starts. Innovation had always started when there has been changes, as Toastmaster Hemalata previously highlighted. Even we had a lot of examples from our honorary member DTM Vijay speaking for us with lot of examples from Meraki where we had bent rules in the past. I would like to give 3 specific business examples. One, Reliance Jio. Reliance Jio actually had bent the rules. Nobody had denied them. For example, they without a license, actually there was a specific set of policy for a launch, but they in the name of test run they had offered services free for several months. They had spent money, but in the end people were able to use cheap data. Lot of progress in the country in the form of Aadhaar, UPI, everything actually was made possible because of people getting the cheap data. So this is the example number 1. Example 2, Ola, like even Toastmaster Ranganathan could reach the venue earlier because of using Rapido. So I would put all Rapido, Uber, even the example of Priya. Regulations were not there for them. For example, when they started, they said they were a ride-hailing company. It was an app. They were not owning cabs or they were not having drivers on the roads. But they were able to bring in a technological innovation. But then regulations were formed to accommodate them. Like the way Uber is still running, it is not gone away. There were no regulations. Now government had to pitch in. There was a new innovation. Government had to modify certain regulation and then set the industry right. So, but the bending had helped the innovation in the first place. My last example would be in a case of Unacademy, which is the learning platform where an youngster in a hoodie comes and say, Akbar was a CEO of Mughalai era. So then people got interested to know what it is about. If not for Unacademy, lot of this online learning itself wouldn't have been possible. Today, even a Type 3 city was able to get IIT preparation material in the form of easy way. So I think definitely rule bending, like the way for progress you need to innovate. To innovate, you might have to bend rules, but always governments can set the regulations to straighten them or to enable them function better. They should not exploit people. We completely agree. At the same time, you need rule bending to innovate and to progress.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. Some excellent examples from the business world on how we are able to progress. So we heard a lot of context setting, a lot of examples from Galileo to Uber to Jio and all. To conclude, I would like to mention 2 points. Behind the slips that you have received, I would like all of you to vote for the team that made excellent points that you felt regarding progress. And my own individual conclusion when it comes to progress within Toastmasters, I'm going to take the diplomatic route. I feel there is always the rules that help us move to a point. But then when we start bending the rules, it's a signal to the upper management in any organization. If, say for example, we are walking on the grass in a park, that means that people are more comfortable taking a route. It's probably time for the park management to lay down a path through that. So usually when we start bending rules, it's a signal to upper management for them to change the rules once again. So I think both go hand in hand towards progress. I would like to once again thank all the speakers who joined me on the stage, made some excellent points. With that, back to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We will now move to the next agenda item, but before that, you all would have received a chit to vote for the best speaker and the role player. If you haven't received, please get it from DTM Satish Kumar.